Welcome back to the channel, guys. Every few years, Britain goes through the same ritual. We're told this election really matters, that this time change is coming, that if we just vote correctly, the country will finally turn a corner. Different faces appear on posters, different slogans fill our screens, and then almost nothing changes. Taxes stay high, borders stay weak, crime rises, public service deteriorate, speech becomes more restricted, communities feel more fragmented, and the public is left asking the same question again and again: what was the point? The uncomfortable truth is that modern Britain is designed to resist change, not by accident, but by structure. Elections still happen, but power increasingly sits elsewhere. You are allowed to vote, but you aren't allowed to meaningfully disrupt the system that governs you. This is not democracy as people understand it, it is managed consent. Look at where real authority now lies. Vast swathes of policy are controlled by unelected bodies, regulators, courts, civil service departments, international agreements, and so-called independent institutions. These organisations do not stand for election. They do not face voters, and yet they shape everything from immigration to energy policy to speech rules. Governments come and go, but the machine remains. That is why campaign promises dissolve so quickly after polling day. Not because politicians always lie, but because they enter a system that punishes disruption and rewards compliance. Try to radically change immigration policy and you collide with courts, legal challenges, NGOs, international obligations, and bureaucratic inertia. Try to restore free speech and you are warned about safety, regulation, and reputational risk. Try to shrink the state and you are told it's impossible. Impossible for whom? What voters slowly realise is that elections no longer decide direction. They merely decide management. Left or right, red or blue, the same constraints apply. The same assumptions go unchallenged. The same outcomes are presented as inevitable. Now, this is why public frustration keeps rising, regardless of who wins. The British state increasingly sees the public not as sovereign citizens, but as a problem to be managed. Behavioural scientists design messaging to nudge opinions. Speech is regulated to prevent harm. Protest is tolerated only if it is polite and ineffective. Dissent is monitored, labelled and sometimes punished. This is not confidence in democracy, it is a fear of it. A political class that trusted its people would not need so many controls. It would not need to police language, suppress debate or pathologise disagreement. The fact that it does tells you everything you need to know. Meanwhile, those who benefit from this arrangement are insulated from its consequences. Elites live far from the pressures created by mass immigration, housing shortages, wage suppression, and overstretched public services. They speak the language of globalism because globalism works for them. Borders are optional when you can afford to live anywhere. For everyone else, borders matter, community matters, stability matters, and yet those concerns are dismissed as ignorance, fear, or extremism. This is how dissent is neutralised, not by argument, but by moral framing. If you question the system, you are told you are angry. If you demand change, you are told you are unrealistic. If you vote against it, you are told you have voted incorrectly. And when nothing changes, you are told to be patient and vote again next time. This is not representation, this is containment. Britain now operates on a model where failure is permanent and reform is temporary. Crises justify more power for the state, more spending, more regulation, but never accountability. Every problem becomes an excuse to centralise further, never to reverse course. This is why nothing ever truly changes, because change would require the system to admit it was wrong, and systems, unlike people, never apologise. Now, the result is a country drifting without consent, a democracy hollowed out from the inside, a public increasingly aware that their votes express anger but not authority. And when people finally realise this, they are told the problem is apathy, that people don't care enough. The truth is the opposite. People care deeply. They just no longer believe the system listens. That belief is deadly for any democracy. Britain does not need better slogans. It does not need nicer politicians. It needs a fundamental reckoning with who actually holds power and why ordinary voters are locked out of real decision making. Until that happens, elections will continue to feel pointless. Governments will continue to disappoint, and the gap between rulers and ruled will continue to widen. Nothing changes in Britain, not because the public refuses to act, but because the system is designed to survive regardless of what the public wants. And the longer that remains true, the more dangerous the consequences will become. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want more honest political commentary and don't want to miss what's really happening behind the headlines, hit that subscribe button and drop your thoughts in the comments below.